So offerings are another part of the puzzle. So all these people come to your website, but you need to get them to do something, right? You need their information, because you can have all the hits that you want, but you can't actually act on it with your sales force unless you know who people are. So your offerings are going to be very relative to the customer's needs at each point of the buying cycle. And these are examples of some Make Create offerings. So this is on our website development track. So plan a winning website. Those are for the people who are like, I need to build a website and I'm freaking out because I don't know what that means. So that's cool. I have a whole ebook about it. It's like, I don't even know how many pages, but it's really exciting. And then from there, I'm like, all right, so you downloaded this ebook, which means to me that you are in the market to buy a website. Maybe, but not definitely, because you might want to do it yourself, right? But I'm going to send you another email, and I'm going to say, hey, have you checked out the Design Company interview guide? That's saying, are you going to have a professional build this for you? Because if so, what I want to do is give you a list of questions to ask that professional so you can go in and not say what everybody says when they come into these meetings with me, which is, I don't have any idea what's going on. I don't have any idea what is like happening. I am having a really hard time with this. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're feeling so uncomfortable right now. But if they had downloaded this guide, they would know all these questions that they should be asking me, and they could put me on the spot and be like, are you going to optimize my website for all mobile devices? I could say, sort of. Yes. And then from there, people always want to know, how much does it cost? So we have our online estimator, too. So if you start here, you could go here, or you could go here, but I'm just taking people through the different phases and answering the questions that they have to make them feel more comfortable throughout it. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that I send them every email about every blog post, because I don't. I ask them, do you want to sign up for my blog? That doesn't mean that I won't occasionally email them. It just means that I'm not going to email them every single day, because that's rude, right? Be nice. You have this power. Use it for good. Most of the time, they need to be downloadable or generated online, not like fill out this form and I'll send you a brochure. They should provide value to your customer, and they should be original. So you could do surveys or research results. You could do white papers, templates, like how to do something, especially for accountants and that type of industry. Templates, like Excel template. Go on with your bad self. Get yourself organized, right? How-to guides, ebooks, webinars, service estimators. And I know that you're over there thinking, what is my restaurant going to do with this? You could, if you want to get more events, maybe you got an event planning guide. Yeah. How to serve sandwiches to 50 people or more. So kind of think outside the box with this kind of stuff. If that's where you're trying to go, is have more catered events, then let's talk to people about planning an event. And it may not just be about the food. Things that you need to think about in planning an event. And the thought is that you repurpose the blog content. So you start off and you're like, what do these people need to know about? And you're going to come up with like these segments of topics, right? And then you write about them, and as you start writing, you're like, whoa, this is way more stuff than I ever thought that I ever needed to say about one topic. This person's going to be completely overwhelmed. And so then you break it into little blog posts, and then you slap it all together in one ebook. So every offer, whenever you have an offering, there's a way that you're going to present it to people, right? So you have to have a call to action. This thing down here. And you also need to have a landing page. And your landing page needs to have a clear description of what you're offering. You need to have a picture of what you're offering. And no, it doesn't actually look like that because it's downloadable. And then there's a lead form. So they fill out their information. You don't have to ask them for a ton of stuff, especially at first. You just want enough to get them into the system. And then ask them to subscribe to your blog or not. Always leave this unchecked. This is where people subscribe to my blog, right here. They're like, well, this was really good stuff. I think that I should subscribe to that blog. So this is where we get most of our blog subscribers. No navigation. I don't want them to go anywhere but here. You have to click the back button to get out of this hole. A thank you page is really important, so that way they can download their offering. And I can tell them about other things that are going on. So this is my suggested navigation. They have navigation up at the top too. But I'm suggesting, here's some other blog articles, and here's some other stuff that you might find interesting right now. A thank you email that maybe they might forward on to their friends. And also a way to track the submissions. that way you can go back in when we're getting slow or your salespeople are complaining because they don't have anything to do. You can be like, look at all these people. You start talking to them. All right, so how many offerings do you need? This is the chart that we found. Landing pages, so there's one landing page per offering, right? So companies see a 55% increase in leads, increasing from landing pages from 10 to 15. And I think the reason that they see that is because they're starting to diversify their offerings and they're starting to offer to more people with more different types of questions. They're talking to more target markets. Does that make sense? Or if they're speaking to the same target market the entire time, they're answering more specific questions to each individual part, right? Now, do we have 10 to 15 offerings? No. But are we building it? Yes. Because it depends on your growth goals, once again, how many of these you need to have. I mean, you probably want to have one to start, so that way you can start gathering information. I like to suggest to people who do it quarterly, so you've got like 3 months worth of blog posts that you can compile into your next publication. I think that every other month is a great goal as well. They take time to do. They just do. There's nothing, no long and short of it. It takes time. And this is sort of where we come into the mix for some of our clients too. They're like, we're going to do all of our own blogging and all of our own social media. We just need to get you guys to tell us like what direction to go. But then when it comes time to make this thing into a book, I don't have anybody who wants to spend 40 hours doing it. So you do it. We're like, okay, and Sadie makes them really pretty.